There was once an ogre. His name was Thornbug. He was the ugliest ogre you could ever imagine. One day, Thornbug wanted to go out and investigate his surroundings. Because he was a curious ogre, he stumbled across a little cottage and went inside. There he saw a fire. He also wanted to know what that object cooking in the fire was, so he pulled it out. He found it to be a stick of dynamite and promptly blew to smithereens.
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon.
What the fuck? Hi, yo.
Welcome to the screen! Someone died! Oh! Die, motherfucker! Everybody cease fire! Cease fire! Technical difficulties are fun. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream where we give no fucks.
Pretty much.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hopefully this all worked properly. If it did,
It played on the stream.
awesome.
I checked. So,
Well, that's one thing going right. We didn't know this, but I get, it was not discovered until today that
Audio,
last
sound row 1,
night's
column 3.
spleen
Cable.
turned out to be
Listen
an
to this. Not check.
absolute
Add the Y button.
disaster.
Press unavailable. Property.
yeah, the intro didn't play at all. It was just silence. So,
Exactly.
And then
Op
at the
25,
end,
VLC
I
media
guess
player
it
op-
cut off
VLC
prior
media
to
player
the
window.
actual end spleen.
VLC media player.
Yes.
And everyone listening was very sad that it happened.
Yeah.
Yes. I was also having some shall we say
Issues.
medical issues.
Yeah.
Listen to this device.
That should all be taken care of now. I am fine. I'm healthy. I'm okay.
Op 25.0. Op 6.
Physically, mentally, that's still up.
Properties. Volume. New text.
Oh.
Brent is neither physically nor mentally okay and needs to see a
shit.
weight loss counselor. I'm just kidding.
Volume slider. Mute my video. Checkbox check. Sources window. Checkbox not checked. Checkbox. Audio mixer window. Mute my video. Checkbox focus check.
Oh,
Not checked.
damn.
My video should be unmuted now, and the lights are on, so people should see my absolutely gorgeous face.
Yeah, right.
Brent is envious because he cannot have a face as beautiful as mine.
Well, somebody's full of themselves.
And finally, our guest is here today. We finally figured out what the problem was, why we couldn't get her into the channel, and now she is here.
That has been resolved.
Why couldn't you guys get her in? I wasn't here when that was figured out.
So the reason we couldn't get her in the channel is because there's a little bit of a problem where it's not showing her soda, sorry. It wasn't showing her the rules channel. And then when she was able to see the rules channel, she wasn't able to see the actual rules. So she couldn't click the agree button.
Oh.
Ain't technology just grand? Isn't it just wonderful?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Just beautiful. Oh, I believe my speech I just realized, but I believe my text to speech might be going through the stream.
Categories list. General 1 of 25. Speech to.
Oh, but
Speech
not.
change.
We can't hear it.
Pressed.
You can't?
I can't.
I mean, you can't, but can you hear it through the YouTube stream or the Twitch?
Oh.
That's the
Select
issue.
synthesizer dialog. Audio button. Output device. Cable input. VBOX speakers. 2 high definition.
Check that out.
Yeah, hold on. If this wants to open.
I have fixed it either way, so it should not be going through the stream anymore. I need to make a stream checklist so that I know what to do before starting the stream.
Yeah, your screen reader is going through.
I have fixed that issue, so...
Dirk Fairy. Somehow I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah,
We're
for
not-
some reason you cut out.
Yeah, we're not hearing her either.
Yeah, might want to try to come back in.
Okay, hold on. I'll I will message. Oh, crap. Get out of that freaking edit field. Thank you, Jaws. Appreciate it.
So it would be very wise for me to make a checklist of things that need to get done before I start the stream, because I find oftentimes I keep forgetting things.
Right, that can happen, especially when you're rushing. You know, that can. It's kind of worse when you try to rush things and then you forget more.
Right.
Yeah.
You would have forgotten when you weren't rushing.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you think that by rushing through things, you're gonna be able to get more done faster. When chances are it's just gonna be sloppier and things are gonna be even worse.
Exactly.
But that's just kind of human tendency. Just if we're running late or running out of time, tendency is to just rush, and next thing you know, you're walking out the door with your hair all frizzled and your shoes are on the wrong foot and
Pants on inside out.
pants are on inside out and backwards. or hopefully this doesn't happen, but you walk out only then realizing you forgot your pants.
Oh!
I don't understand how people actually do that. How do people actually
Red.
forget
We
their
can't hear you either.
pants?
Try to leave
Or-
and come back.
Any clothes, really. I don't.
I don't get it either, but
Oh,
Hang
you.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand how that happened. It's kind of funny. It's
I've
kind of
never
funny.
had.
When, sorry.
Go ahead.
It's funny when people have dreams about forgetting their pants.
That's
or,
happened to
or
me.
like being in class naked or something.
That's happened to me.
I've never had a dream like that in my life. So
I have.
I have.
I've never had that.
It's weird. Like, okay, one time I had this dream where I was running really late to school, and I got there, and it was right in the middle of a big whole school-wide assembly, and I got there only then realizing once I was in the auditorium where the assembly was that I didn't have any clothes
Oh my god,
on.
that's embarrassing. Ew. What, how old were you when you had this dream?
Like 11 or 12.
Oh my god.
And then one time I had this dream where I was really rushing to get ready for school and the bus was outside. And it was there was like a big rain thunderstorm. And I actually walked out of the house in my bare feet. Like I had all my clothes on, but I was walking towards the bus barefooted when it's like, there was like 3-4 inches of water on the ground and it was raining and thundering and there was wind blowing.
Oh,
Yeah. Both times I woke up going, whoa, my god, that was
That's
just a dream.
Weird.
I had a dream that I was running outside of the school and my pants fell down around my ankles. Except that wasn't a dream.
Wait, what? That actually happened?
Yes. I was running
Oh my god.
and I was trying to get my teacher to stop because we were walking kind of fast. And I was like, stop. And then my pants fell down around my ankles and I dropped to the ground. Everybody around me started laughing. I was like, oh my god.
When did that happen?
Elementary school.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
My luck.
It's
only,
funny now,
only
but
my
it
luck.
wasn't funny then.
Yeah, back then I bet it wasn't funny. Now it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
I need to turn on the text-to-speech thing.
Dirk Fairy.
I forgot.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good at all.
I have a kind of a deep cut on my thumb. That's not a good thing.
What? Whoa.
Moving on past that, so how this is gonna work today is we're gonna talk about random fucking topics, and we'll be sure to outline what's the beginning of a new topic and what isn't.
Right.
And
Dirk Fairy. I'm back, but you'll have to bring me back into the stream.
Oh,
yes.
I can bring her. I think I can.
so
Someone can
just go to her name in the voice channel and then hit the applications key, and you should be able to move her
Got it.
from there.
I know what it is. Okay. Or Brandy, are you gonna?
I'll do it.
I wanted
So we're going to
Well, okay, you could, but remember, in your case, it's either you either have to right-click or do Shift F10. Because
I
since you don't
know.
have an application key.
I know what that is. Hold on. Wait. It says she's.
You'll need to move her into the stream voice channel. 'Cause she's in the stream text. But she can't,
she's in the regular voice channel.
Yes.
And ouch, that cut smarts a little bit, but oh, our guest is back.
Yep.
Yay!
Technical difficulties.
Ain't they wonderful?
I
Hey,
is
Garrett,
back.
as for your thumb, plunge it in salt. That'll help.
Ow! Don't do that.
Viewers on the stream, please do remind me again at the end of the stream to kill Brent mercilessly and brutally.
I'll find a hiding spot and I'll bring a shovel. I'll bring a shovel.
Damn.
And then I
So-
can play dumb after.
So, how this is gonna work
Ew,
is
what are you eating? Sorry.
cheddar and sour cream ruffles.
Oh,
Yum.
Some.
Sounds delicious.
They are
I-
really good.
I ate a bag of those, I got a bag of those when I did my last bit of shopping, and I also got some nacho cheese Doritos.
Yum yum.
Man, I wish
Same
I
here.
Could buy stuff like that.
Yum.
Wait, I can if
Oh.
I get DoorDash.
Hey guys, before we continue this topic, I might want to explain what we're doing.
Mhm.
So we're gonna bring up random fucking topics during this talk stream.
Whoa.
No, by random fucking topics, I don't mean random fucking topics.
Damn.
Listen to the intonation in my voice. I don't mean random fucking topics. I mean random fucking topics. There's a difference.
I was gonna say there wasn't much of a difference.
No comment.
We let, we,
Ew, God, no. Unlike you, we're not into bestiality.
Ew. No, guys, he's not. He's kidding.
parrot.
God, hell no.
That would. I'd probably peck you to death.
Eric's a bitch.
Brent likes to suck penis. Rah!
Oh my god.
Rah! Brent likes to suck giant cock. Rah!
Any parrots out there, do not repeat this.
Garrett's a male prostitute. Male prostitute.
Rah! Brent likes to do the gargle gargle.
That reminds me of a joke. That really does.
My
This is Brent's the cum shot that should have been swallowed. Rah!
Garrett's parents should have used protection.
Oh.
Rah! Means the same thing, you fucking jackass. Rah!
Oh.
Anyway, so we're gonna bring up random topics, and we're gonna talk about them. And for every topic, we will bring a person who wants to talk about said topic into our stream voice channel to talk with us for about a minute.
Ooh, sounds fun.
And Sherry here is our permanent guest for the day.
Yay!
But
Thank you for
everybody,
having me.
you're
Anyone
quite
who
welcome.
wishes to anyone who wishes to talk about any of the given topics that we bring up, you need only say so, and you'll be brought into the stream so that you can add your input to the conversation.
Yep, and you'll have about a minute, and give or take a minute, and then we will allow for the next person to come on, and then the next person, and then the next person.
But just
And
let us
so
know
on
if
and
you
so forth.
just let us know if you want to say something, because if you don't leave a comment,
We're not gonna know. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you have something to input and you wish to say it in via voice and not just a text comment, you gotta be sure to let us know.
Yes. Please do let us know, and we'll be sure to kick Brent out so we can have a slot for you. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You're an asshole.
Well, yeah, he has one, so we all have one.
Oh, that reminds me of that joke I told the other day, remember?
Huh?
Remember the joke I told, and Garrett's dad was like, I'll have to remember that.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
This is an NSFW stream, so go ahead and tell it.
Alright, so the joke is, what's the
Wait,
difference?
Brent, did you get my message real quick?
Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna check that real quick.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Oh, yeah. I got it. Oh, boy.
Oh, Christ, help us all. Anyway.
So the joke is, what's the difference between sitting in a car eating pussy on a clear day and sitting in a car eating pussy when there's fog out?
I'm going to be the voice of the crowd. What?
The answer is, when it's foggy out, you can't see the asshole in front of you.
Oh.
I will once
man.
again be the voice of the crowd.
I actually got that joke from my dad had a CB
Uh-oh.
enthusiast when
Um,
I was little.
Hey, Brent, I'm going to need you to repeat that because I just cut out.
Okay, so my dad was a CB radio enthusiast when I was little, and he sold all the equipment before we moved out of the house we lived when I was 7 in Redding, California. Absolute shithole of a town, the armpit of California.
We asked why?
It's hot. It's miserable. There's practically nothing there for the blind. It's just, honestly, my dad loves it. I think it's an all-around hellhole. In the summertime, the temperatures can get into the 120s sometimes.
Ew, that's nasty.
And it's a humid, muggy heat, too.
Oh, God. We are not living there. Like,
Hell no. Hell to the no.
So, guys, I'm gonna translate
I
that
thought
from. I'm gonna translate.
I thought
sorry.
Porterville was worse.
I'm
I don't know
gonna.
about Porterville, but I know Fresno could get pretty damn bad.
Well, I mean, Porterville can get up to 105-degree weather, which isn't that bad. It's just that it's a one-horse town, and there's really nothing there, like, at all for anyone.
Yeah.
And in order to get from point A to point B, you have to drive anywhere while you're there. It's just,
Wow.
it's not a good place at all.
So,
And
guys.
I call it a
oh.
I call it a one-horse town.
Yeah.
So guys, I have here with me a Brent to English dictionary. So I'm just gonna go ahead and translate what he just said. What he actually said was, I would like to lay out in the middle of the street when it's the hottest day out and the sun's fully out.
Hell yeah.
That would
yes.
be me. That would be me.
Shoot.
Damn.
No, actually, I got that translation wrong. It's not in the middle of the street. It's on the hot hood of a car.
Ouch.
And that means Garrett is out of his mind. But then again, anyone who knows him already knows that.
Oh, let me get my dictionary. Oh, that means Garrett is the smartest person on the planet. Oh, thank you, Brent. I appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
How sweet.
right. So, holy crap, what the hell were we even talking about now?
I'm drawing a blank here.
Crap.
Oh, the joke you told?
No,
Okay, yeah, I was explaining where I got it from. So my dad, he was a CB radio enthusiast, and he sold all of his CB radio equipment that he had amassed over the years before we moved to the Bay Area, which I'm sure most of you know, but that's a region of California for those of you who may not know where or what that is. So then he tried to get back into it when I was around, I'll say 12, 13-ish. And he got a CB radio for his car, and it didn't really work very well, but it got one channel okay, and only for a little bit. But it just happened to be that while we were on that channel, someone told that joke, and I just happened to remember it. So
Did
yeah,
you know what
what
it meant then?
I did. I figured it out. I figured it out. Yes.
Well, I'll say that's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess you gotta figure not a lot of 12, 13-year-olds would figure that out, but I guess some would.
I would, probably. 'Cause
You'd
I
have
knew
figured
a
it
lot
out.
before then. We're not gonna talk
yeah.
about that.
I don't think I would ever figure that out at 12 or 13.
I would have for sure. Because I figured out a pretty
Dang.
dirty joke. I wasn't supposed to, but I did.
I didn't even knew what
wow.
cum meant at 12 or 13. How was I gonna figure that out?
I think I learned what that meant at around 14, 15, maybe 16.
Oh, dang. I knew pretty quickly.
Dang.
Say like 13.
Figured it
Well,
out.
I learned it, like,
Well, I had
I learned
a
it
crash
in
course at
fifth
17, so.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay.
'Cause I wasn't, my step family wouldn't allow me to do hardly anything, so it wasn't my fault.
Well,
No,
according
yeah.
according to the English to Brent dictionary I have here, cum means something Brent likes to swallow. What? What?
Oh my god.
Damn.
Not going there.
Just ignore him. He's an asshole. We know he's an asshole. To know Garrett is to know that he's an asshole.
Nah. I think Brent, you're getting a little bit confused. I think you should rest, and I know the perfect resting place for you. Right on the hood of a car in the middle of the hottest city in Mexico during the day.
Hell no.
Oh, he can always come to where I'm at. It's going to be 112 later next week.
I've been to Arizona, although I don't know where you're at, but my dad had a girlfriend that lived near Tucson, I believe. I think that's where she lived. I think that was like the nearest big city to where she was, and yeah, it was hot and miserable.
Yeah, it's a dry heat. It's supposed to be 106 today.
Dang.
Ew.
God.
So
isn't
pretty
that
close to
We're inside in the AC, so the kids are all good. But
I reckon-
my hands are freezing.
I reckon Arizona's pretty near Vegas, because that's about how hot it was in Vegas.
Yeah, we're south of Vegas. The nearest city that I'm at is Phoenix.
Okay, the guy that I pulled all the pranks on when I was at the training center was from Phoenix, and at the time I pulled the pranks, we were friends. Turned out he was a backstabbing prick.
So was
Yeah,
the
I've
other
met a few.
person.
Yeah, the
I've
other
met a
person
few
was.
of those.
Yep. It's like, they'll agree with you 1 second, but then when someone else comes along with the opposite opinion, they'll just turn right around and gang up on you like they never agreed with you in the first place. Yeah, he's a piece of garbage. And so was she. Honestly, they both deserved it.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they are, and to be honest, I couldn't care less.
Oh,
She's
shice.
probably the same.
Probably. All by herself, and it's her own fault now.
And she's probably singing all by myself.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah.
I know that song.
Unless she's
And it's her
fucking
own damn
him.
fault too.
No, they're not together anymore.
No, he went back to Phoenix. He just
Oh.
bailed. She woke up one day to find him packing his shit. He had called his dad the day before, and his dad came down and got him, whatever. And yeah, he bailed, and honestly,
Was that the same one that actually got stabbed or something?
yeah,
Oh
that
my
was the same
God.
one that was the same guy whose arm she took a knife to, and she was really pissed off, and she was mad because he wouldn't try to call the doctor and score some narcotics for her.
Smart.
Yep.
She scares me now. Like, I mean, she actually did that. Like, that's scary and
She
kind
did.
of crazy. So,
She did.
Yeah, I probably would have tie her up and call an ambulance on her.
with a knife on her though, I don't want to get near her.
She's tried to lunge at me a couple times, and I held her back. And one time, I kind of lunged forward. She was trying to get at me, and she fell flat on her back.
I don't know why, but I think that's funny. She fell flat on her back.
Yep.
God, that's the worst position you could be in, like, ever. Open YouTube.
I hear turtles. I've heard it said that if a turtle lands on its back, it can't move.
Yeah, it just lays there and wiggles its legs trying to get up.
Oh my god,
It's
that
kind
would be
of it's kind of sad yet funny to watch. In all
Oh,
honesty.
so a
Can't
turtle.
they die if they don't move on time?
Well, I mean, if they're in the middle of the road, yeah, they would get hurt.
But if it's like a house pet, and if it is on its back, it'll just stay there until someone flips it over.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm full of useless trivia.
I used to be able to sleep on my back, but now, like, ever since I was about 5 or 6, I can't really sleep that way anymore. Every now and again, I will fall asleep and/or wake up on my back, but normally that's not the case. Not ever since I was about 5 or 6, and it just happened all of a sudden too.
Oh,
Yeah, the last time I was on my back, my kids said it was weird. So I would lay on my back, and I was under a blanket, and they said it looked like I was shivering,
Oh wow.
and my arms was straight, and I had my knees bent. And they were like, yeah, it was just, weird watching you just lay there sleeping. And apparently, because I was sick at the time, they were wondering why my teeth were chattering.
Ooh.
They thought I was eating something in my sleep or something.
Oh jeez.
It's like, no, I was probably just saying I was freezing in the middle of my sleep there.
Apparently, I was so out of it one time that I guess it was a summer between my 9th and 10th grade year, and I had fallen asleep, and I guess my dad got home, and he tried to say something to me. He tried to talk to me. I forget what he was trying to say. I don't even
Mignon
remember this
Slayer.
at all.
Sup Peaches. What the hell am I
I
watching?
have no idea what he was trying to say to me, but apparently I said,
who
I
is
said,
that?
Sup, Peaches? What the hell am I watching? You're watching a talking stream. You're watching us
Where we just
talk
talk.
about random shit.
Usually Garrett plays games, but today we just,
just,
It's a good excuse to test shit, see how it works too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't remember this at all, and my dad didn't tell me what he was saying to me, or if he did, I don't remember now. But apparently, after he was talking to me, I said Beechwood, rolled
Beechwood.
over, and kept on sleeping.
What is the weirdest thing to say?
There was one time my dad was sleeping, and I heard him say the guy from Scooby. There was another time I heard him say Spotless in his sleep. Then there was another time when he was asleep and he woke up, and I guess he was barely awake, and I hear him go into the kitchen, and then a little bit later I think the fridge door closed, and he's like, oh wait, that's not the bathroom.
Oh my god. No way.
Yes way. I would not make this shit up.
Oh.
He was about to piss in the fridge. Oh my god.
Wouldn't that make the food nasty?
Why does this soda taste like pee? Oh, wait.
Now apparently there was this one time when my dad and I were in Romania, because he was dating this chick from there, and we had gone over there. I could have stayed in the States, but I thought, hey, what 18-year-old blind kid gets the chance to travel across the planet? So I thought, because of disability, I have until the age of 22 to graduate anyway. I'm not going to stay in school that long, but hey, you know what? What's one extra year? At this point, for this, I'm willing to, if it would have been anything else, I would have wanted to graduate on time, because I should have graduated in 2008. But I figured for this, alright, you know what? It's going to kind of suck a little, but what's one extra year? Anyway, I digress. So, I was sleeping on
Mignon
this
Slayer,
two-piece
there was a
couch.
time where my friend sat in
Oh,
her sleep when
hold
her
on.
parents walked in. Oh, it's Jesus Christ himself. She's white.
Hold on, let me
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god.
hang it
Yes,
because I
that
missed
is.
all of it.
You should turn on your text to speech in Discord so you can hear the
Yeah, I have
messages.
mine on.
Well, okay, I was in a different Discord window, and so Jaws started talking, and I just reflexively hit the control key and missed it.
Ah, gotcha.
You ever do that?
Yes.
So anyway, it was just I was sleeping on part of this like fold-out couch that had two sections, and a few feet away, her brother was sleeping on the other section of this couch, and my dad and his then girlfriend were in the bedroom doing I don't want to even imagine what.
Oh my god.
So now apparently, I woke up, yawned and stretched loudly, and meanwhile they're in the bedroom going, "Stay quiet,
Mignon
stay
Slayer,
quiet, shut
her
up."
sister also
And
liked
I
opening
don't
and
remember
closing
this. I don't
doors
remember-
while sleepwalking.
Ew. That's gross.
Oh my god.
How do you do that?
Damn.
I actually don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So anyway, so they're like, "Shut up, shut up," And my dad was telling me about this after the fact. I have no recollection of this at all. They were both like, "Shh, be quiet, shut up." So I yawned and stretched loudly, and me being blind and half asleep, I guess I was going to go to the bathroom, and I ran bodily into the bathroom door, which made another loud clang. they were afraid that her brother was going to wake up or something, but I guess they had been drinking the night before, so he was passed out. And yeah, I was like barely awake, I guess. Awake enough to go use the restroom, but I don't remember this at all. My dad told me about it after the fact, and I thought it was funny. And then there was this one time, this didn't have anything to do with sleeping or anything, but there was this one time, it was when we were getting ready to head back to the States, and I was going to go take a shower, and my dad was like, "Son, go ahead and take your time. Take as long as you want." So I'm like, okay,
God.
I know exactly what they're going to be doing. So I think I know how I'm going to re-enter, because this was a different
Oh,
apartment. This was
no.
a studio apartment that had a bathroom.
I would have been mad if somebody did the same.
So I take a shower, and I figure while I'm showering, they're on the bed making out or doing whatever, which I don't really know and don't really care, just to think about. But anyways, oh god, oh my god. So I'm done taking my shower. I get dressed and all that. And so rather than just, knocking on the door before opening it or clearing my throat or whatever, I just barge open the door as loud as I can and come rushing out into the apartment and scare the crap out of both of them.
Jerk.
That's
Hey.
fucking great.
I was 18, that's my defense right there. I was only 18.
Okay. I would have killed you.
I was also 18 when I kicked the garbage can that one time.
Oh, that is a good story, you guys.
Yeah, so this story was,
Oh,
this
yes.
was- it was the last day that I was going to be in
Mignon Slayer, you should have burst and
very
saying,
last
Oh,
day
suck
before we were
motherfucking
leaving.
peaches.
Yes! Yes! Yes, that would have been funny. Yes,
Damn.
you should have.
So, okay, this was the very last day that I was going to be in school. Now, I told everyone that I was going to be leaving for Christmas break, taking a European vacation, and I'd be coming back. Because the year before, I had said that I was leaving for good and I wouldn't be back for a year or whatever, and then the plans fell through. So, in, my stupid 18-year-old mind, I thought, okay, if I just tell everyone I'm leaving temporarily, even though I know I'm not, maybe, it won't jinx it. Thinking back, I probably should have just came out with the truth right away. But anyway, again, I digress.
Yeah, you should have came out of the closet then.
Might want to take your own advice there, Garrett. Anyway, so it was at lunchtime, and there was a garbage can sitting there. So I'm like, I've always wanted to do this. So I just wound back my foot and kicked the garbage can as hard as I could. It goes flying, spinning across the hall, and then tumbles over and lands and then rolls. And so, the rest, people are seeing this and like, what the hell? Some of them are laughing, some of them are confused apparently. And so my teacher, a former teacher of mine who was my math teacher sophomore year, he was like, you're going to pick that up. I'm like, no, I'm not. And so I started to walk away. And he tried to grab me by my backpack to stop me. Rather than stop me, I took off like a rocket. I just took off running as fast as I possibly could. And I ran down 3 hallways before I finally shook him off. And then,
Surprised he held on for so long.
No.
Yeah.
He only held on for a second or two, but he continued to chase after me after I started to run.
Mignon Slayer admitted,
hold on.
you will have a child one day with Garrett, and your child will take a shower for as long as they want, and burst in and call you teacher.
Hell no!
No. We're
Hell
both
no.
guys. Brent has a girlfriend. I'm happily single.
Yeah, but that was still funny. That was still funny. That was
Yeah.
great. I like
So, the adaptive PE teacher, which for those of you who don't know, is someone who teaches PE, but for kids with disabilities. So he sees me and rats me out. So during my 6th period, I get called down to the office, and I tell them what happened, and I'm just having fun. So they say I was disturbing the peace, blah blah blah. Which peace? It was lunchtime, and there were freaking kids everywhere. That year there were like 800 plus seniors alone.
holy crap.
Wow.
So yeah, peace my dying ass. So yeah, so they gave me 4 hours of detention to be served either before school or after school. I could do 2 hours before, 2 hours after, something like that. And so I'm like, all right, sure, I'll see you guys, once I get back from break. I left, never came back. And then when I went to school the next year, I got off scot-free. Although,
That is a good story right there.
the next year I did get a Saturday detention for calling a TA a bitch, which she was a bitch.
Because
I was-
you were playing with the lights, right?
I was playing with the lights, and she told me to stop, and I'm like, who the hell are you? You're just a TA. You're a senior like I am. So, I refused. And even when she threatened to call the teacher, I'm like, okay. And then when she actually did, and, all that, before the teacher got back and told me himself to leave, I called her a bitch. And I'm not sorry that I called her a bitch. I'm just sorry that I said it. I said it under my breath. I was like, bitch. I'm only sorry.
She sounds like a dumb bitch.
Yeah, I'm only sorry that I was hurt. Even to this day, I'm not sorry I called her a bitch. 'Cause she was a bitch.
It's like,
I wish she would have said, "Say you're sorry," so you could say, "Okay, I'm sorry you hurt me. I'm not sorry I called you that."
Yeah, really.
it's like those freaking seniors that are like student aides. They think that, they can overpower a senior or whatever. That is capable of doing something like you did.
Right. They
Like,
think.
no, we're the same freaking age. Like,
Well, I mean, even I was 19, she was like
okay, but
17,
still,
18, but still,
still.
we were seniors. She was a senior just like me. So I'm like, who the hell are you to think you can boss me around and tell me what to do?
Yeah.
And plus, you're 18, 19. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Pretty much.
Emphasis on the word fuck.
Yeah.
In high school, I was a TA for the biology teacher. She was really nice. But when there was people that were breaking the rules in the class, I just reminded them of the rules, but I didn't get them in trouble or anything because I figured, you know what, they're almost adults, and they should be able to, decide for themselves what they should be doing. And they thought I was
Right.
chill because all I did was grade the papers and stuff.
But yeah,
That's all I did.
if you guys have any stories you would like to share with us, remember, I can move me or Brent or Angie can move you in, and you can tell us your interesting story.
Yeah.
The theme of the story for this one is the craziest shit you've done. For example, what Brent did.
Yeah. Oh, I've
first-
got I got another story after. If Garrett has one, I'll wait. But I
Well,
have another one as well.
I've got one, but first, before you tell it, energy release.
I've actually got two stories. One is of something stupid that I did, and one is of a situation that
I hurt my
dad
little
into.
toe.
Poor baby.
Poor
Get over
toe.
Poor baby
toe.
toe.
Well, I have a
Anyway.
high school story, but it's not something that it's something I did but didn't do.
Okay.
I have
Kind of.
one or two up my sleeve myself.
All right.
So we'll let you go first.
Huh?
We're gonna let you go first.
All right.
Yeah. You got the floor since I've already told a couple. So you'll tell yours, then Sherry will tell hers, and then I'll tell the other two that I have from. They didn't happen in high school, but they happened when I was, going to high school. They actually happened. The two stories I'm going to tell happened at the house, that place I was living, but still, I was high school age.
So first of all, I think I may have done a little more than just hurt my toe. Hopefully, that
Should be the same.
Yeah.
that was stupid of me to run straight into a wall like that.
Ow.
Ow.
That was pretty dumb.
You're done too, though.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Damn.
ouch!
I'm just kidding.
Damn.
I know.
But there was one time that my teacher sent me to run an errand.
Mm-hmm.
And she said I needed to go get a student from the lunchroom and get them. Sorry. And get them to come downstairs because she needed to see them about something.
Okay.
So I heard quickly. So without even grabbing my cane, because I did that a lot, I ran full pelt outside, up the stairs, all without a cane. I
Oh boy.
bolted as fast as I could, and I started running down the sidewalk like
Hell.
pretty much like and it cut out. There we go. I hate it when it does that. But yeah, that's pretty much as fast as I was running down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then a trash can comes up, and obviously I don't see it. So I run into it, And usually, if you run into a trash can, you knock it over and it goes rolling away.
Yep.
Well, I ran into it so hard that it stayed in place, and I flipped over backwards to the other side of the trash can and land flat on my back. Or no, I land on my hands and then roll over onto my back.
Holy crap. That is nuts.
And then that's not all. Right after I land on my back, within seconds of having fallen down, I roll back over onto my hands and then push myself and am up on my feet within 3 seconds.
Wow.
Holy crap. Damn.
And obviously I'm hurt, and the principal was like, "Yep, should have used your cane." And then he said I got up pretty much like a panther. I remember that. I remember that story ever since, and I tell pretty much everyone.
It's a good story.
Wow.
That was when you were in high school?
Yes,
Damn.
that was my senior year.
Oh, damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is
And-
crazy.
Just the thought of someone flipping over a trash can. And not flipping over the trash can as in flipping it upside down, literally flipping from one side of the trash can
Bodily
to the
over
other.
it.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what you get for not using your cane and running as fast as you can, right?
Right.
Pretty much.
I have another falling story. This is when I was in training,
Oh boy.
and this is when I realized how truly shitty my Apple Watch is. So, Brandon, you guys know who Brandon is, and Jackson were moving in front of me, and for those of you who don't know, those were two guys that I went to training with. And they were moving kind of at a brisk pace, so I was trying to keep up with them. Now, I have my cane and pencil grip, which basically means I had it really fucking close to my body.
Oh boy.
Too close, as a matter of fact.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And the reason I say too close is because by the time I found a set of stairs with my cane, I was moving so fast that I already went over it.
Oh my god.
So I start falling, and I think I'm falling off of a larger drop until I start hitting something, and I keep falling. And then I realize I have just stepped off of a set of stairs. And so
It's a miracle
I
you're
keep-
still alive.
Yeah.
I keep hitting stairs all the way down, and luckily it was only 3 steps. Thank the Lord.
You're welcome.
Shut up, Brent. And so I hit my hand really hard to where it
Ooh.
bends at a 90-degree angle.
Ow!
Oh my god.
I drop my
Ow,
cane on
ow.
the ground, and I roll over onto my side. And that was actually a pretty fun fall. It was like a roller coaster ride. I actually quite enjoyed it until I realized that there were quite a few people that just saw me fall unceremoniously to the ground like this.
So basically, you ate shit in front of a huge crowd of people.
Pretty much. The fall was fun until I started hitting the stairs and until people saw that I fell. And then... but the reason this proved to be so bad is, well, one, I pulled a muscle in my wrist, and I also pulled a muscle in my hip, so it was kind of hard to walk a little bit for the next 3 or so days.
Ow, ow, ow. That sounds like it was very painful.
Yes, it does.
Yes. But then the other bad thing was the Apple Watch has something called fall detection. And it's supposed to detect when you have fallen.
Makes sense. Kind of self-explanatory.
It's
there, what
supposed to actually detect when you have fallen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one more time, just for emphasis. It is its job. The fall detection's job is to detect when you fall off of something and land really hard.
Right.
That criteria was met. What it is supposed to do after that criteria is met is it's supposed to go off, make a chime, and then ask you if you're okay. If you don't respond within a couple minutes, it assumes you're really badly hurt and calls 911 and notifies the ambulance people that you have fallen and hurt yourself and you need medical assistance right now.
That's fairly smart, or at least the concept is.
The concept is smart if it actually detects that you have fallen. Which
Let me
it
guess,
did not.
It didn't. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, but it gets worse.
It gets worse?
Yes.
How does it get worse?
A few months later, me and my brother Steven were roughhousing. And he punches my arm. I have not fallen, he punches my arm. And my arm goes down as he's punching me. And then stops. It detects this as a fall. And then, a few months ago, he did the same thing. Actually, last month it was. He punches my arm in the car. The fall detection once again goes off.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
So it went off twice when I didn't fall. But the time that I might have needed it, if I had landed the wrong way after falling down those stairs, I could have seriously hurt myself to the point where I couldn't get up. And in that time that I might have possibly needed it, it did not detect that I fell.
Damn.
Wow. I would say glitched much.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Holy shit.
Never getting another fucking Apple product again.
Well, I don't blame you.
Can't really blame you there.
Especially after that other time where my phone fucked up and I could have easily restored it if it weren't for Apple's proprietary bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going Android. And I get a smart device.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with this live stream, I'd like to say this live stream is not brought to you by Apple. Fuck Apple.
No, it is
Apple
not.
can go to hell.
No. I think, no, wait, sorry. I gotta correct you. You got the name wrong. It's Crapple.
Yes.
Crap. Got it.
So,
Do not buy a Crapple product today.
yeah. do
You'll
not
save
do
your
that.
you'll save yourself possibly your life and your money.
Yep.
Do not
Now,
buy.
if Steve Jobs were still alive and running Apple, that might that might be an entirely different story. But
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, I would have to
We-
agree
we've-
with that one.
we've got Tim Cook running Apple now.
Yeah. So go buy any other phone. I don't care which one, as long as it's not from Crapple.
Pretty much, that's the moral of this stream, or of this segment of it at least.
Topic, yeah.
I've got a couple more funny stories that one
thought-
was of a
Wasn't someone else gonna go, or?
yeah, I was getting to that, you know, because I know Sherry had one, but I was going to say that one story I have is of a stupid thing that I did that I thought was a good idea at the time. And one was of just of a situation I put my dad in that honestly is freaking hilarious. But
I
I
know which one it is.
oh, you know already. Okay.
Well, mine aren't that funny, but
But go ahead, you got the floor, and then once you tell your story or stories, then I will tell mine.
well, I mean, I have like at least two or three, but one of them that really stands out was my senior year. I made my own little clique of a group of people, and it's where like it was a group of people that didn't fit in with any other group of people.
Right.
And there was a guy that my youngest sister really liked. And every time she would see him, she would say hi and then blush, like beet red.
Oh, geez.
And I thought, okay, well, she has a crush on this guy. I thought, okay, kind of cute. You know, her freshman year, she finds a cute guy. All right. So I say hi to this guy, and he blushes beet red and does a 180 and runs away. I'm like, oh, okay. So he likes me. She likes him.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So towards the end of my senior year, he asks me if I'm a freshman. And I'm like, okay, I have two options. One, I can lie to him and say that I am a freshman and then have my sister say I left to go somewhere else. Or I can just, tell him the truth and break his little heart. I
Right.
decided to tell the truth because I didn't think it would be, right to tell him, that I'm a freshman when I'm not, and I'll be
Right.
going off to college the following year. So
Right.
I tell him the truth. I go, sorry, I'm a senior, and his face just dropped. Like he's like, oh man, no way. And
Nah.
it's like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm a senior. I won't be here for much longer. And I'll be going off to college, and just telling him the truth. And he had the saddest face I've ever seen a guy have, like
Aw.
ever. And it's like, okay, now I feel bad. But it's like I would rather. I mean, if I had a crush on someone, I would much rather them tell me the truth of, them being a senior versus lying to me and then finding out later.
Right.
So I figured that he would want me to do the
Be
right
straight
thing.
with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he was sad, and then the following year I went to my younger sister's prom, not her prom, but her senior graduation party that they did at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I was allowed to either go to the prom or the senior grad thing, one or the other. I couldn't go to both. So I went to my senior prom, but she went to her senior grad party and I didn't go. So I went with her. And when I saw him, because at this time I had my hair dyed black, I had pierced ears, my outfit
Right.
was different. And I went up, and when I saw him, hi, and said his name, he didn't roll. Hey, yep, he moved on,
Yep.
which is, a good thing, because
Yeah.
you would want your, crush to move on.
Yeah.
Not that I liked who he moved on with, but that's another story.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
He could have picked better, but I
Yeah.
couldn't say anything, you know, being the ex-crush, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a story as far as that goes,
Oh boy.
if you don't mind.
All right.
Go ahead. Or did you want me to tell my other one?
Is your other one completely different from that one, or?
Yeah.
Because if it's completely different from that one, just so I don't forget, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
you can
Garrett-
tell your crush story, and then I'll tell my other one.
Okay.
That works.
That way it'll flow nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to disguise names, partially because I don't know if the person in particular could be watching this, and they very well could be, considering how I posted this YouTube video on my Facebook page, on my and it's being hosted by my actual Facebook, so they could have very well seen it. So
Smart idea.
and plus I don't give names, so
Right.
Yeah, I didn't give names.
yeah. So I had a crush on this person in high school. She was 3 years younger than me. I know Brent very badly wants to say he, because Brent's a jerk like that.
I believe I know this story, actually. I think you've told me before.
Yes, I believe I have. So this person was 15, I was 18. And they I had a huge crush on them. And then they sorry, it's been a while ago, so I'm trying to remember things.
Remember all the details. It makes sense.
Yeah. And I think she might have been able to tell that I liked her. But I'm not sure. And there was one day that I brought over my dog to the school, and she and her friend were obsessed with the dog and loved him a lot, and you know, stuff like that. And the weird thing was I had a crush on her friend too, who was the same age. And funnily enough, she was just as tall as me. I'm not
wow.
sure how tall I was at the time, but for comparison now, I can tell you guys that I'm about 6'5" in height. So if you want to do the math, I'm 20 years old now, and I'm 6'5". So if you want to do the math and subtract a couple years, you know, go ahead.
Yeah.
But there was one day when we were sitting at the same desk, the three of us, and I believe there
boy.
might have been a fourth, but I can't remember if there was a fourth. And this girl that I had a crush on, the one that wasn't as tall as me, started tickling my hand with her pencil. It started teasing me, and I was like giggling about it and telling her to stop. Sounds like something Brent would do, except the difference is she did actually stop after the first two times I said it, and Brent probably wouldn't.
It does
Right.
sound like something I would do.
At which point I would have to punch Brent and stick the pencil through his hand. Bitch,
Hell
I'm just
no.
kidding.
You? Hell no. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go anywhere near you with a freaking cane, let alone a pencil.
It sounds like something you would do to anybody.
No, it sounds like something you do to me.
Yes, I would.
Good point.
Wait, that sounded wrong.
Oh
On so many levels.
Yes, very much
Yes.
so.
I thought so.
no. And Sherry, this might give you a this might give you an idea as to I'm not sure, but this might give you an idea as to what goes through a guy's mind when they have a crush on someone. But adjust my chair. There we go. I look like a professional studio man. Anyway. So she was tickling my hand with her pencil, and I guess that's the first time I really like discovered that I had a crush on this girl.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked very much, or we were sitting across the room or something like that before. But I was sitting there at my desk, like, and you know, every time I would go home, I would think, should I just tell her like that I like her? And then I used to talk to this guy named Chris back then, and so I asked him, like, should I like tell her I have a crush on her? And he's like, yeah, you should do it. And then I'm like, but I don't want her to like be unsettled by it or whatever. And he was like, it's not that big a deal, just tell her. And I never could tell her. Like I never was able to tell her. And then there was one day, but I think she did get the hint, because there was one day that we were in class and she randomly just said, hey Garrett, I'm dating other person in the class. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think this was like a test to see how I would react to it. I can't remember, like, I don't know if it was or not, but I do remember my, I think my face turned bright red, and I was standing there and the room went quiet, and I was trying to think in my head, like, okay, how am I going to respond to that? What am I going to say? Like, my mind was going in overdrive. Like, what does this girl want me to say in response? Like, I was all confused and shit, and I was like, oh my god! But, she started laughing, and she was like, I can't remember what she said after that, but I just said, okay. Like, that's all I could say. But, other issue, too, is I had a crush on her friend.
Oh, jeez.
And I never could tell her either.
I did have a mad crush on someone. This was years ago, and it lasted for quite a while. It's faded now, and I will most likely go to my grave never telling this person that I like had a huge, insanely mad crush on them. Because, I mean, what would be the point?
Yeah. I mean, you have someone already. She has someone already. She also has...
No.
She also has someone already, which is why, I didn't, which is why I'm trying to word the story carefully.
Yeah.
Part of the reason.
Okay, yeah.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
since she's already dating someone, I don't really want to, I
cause
guess,
problems.
yeah, I guess I don't want to bring too much attention to it.
Right.
But
In my situation, even if I wasn't seeing someone, I mean, what would be the point? I mean, it's it was something that was years ago, so why talk about it now when it's in the past?
Yeah, because I thought it was cute that a freshman would have a crush on me and then, ask if I was a senior or not. I mean, because it would have been nice to date him for like the 2 or 3 months I had left of the school year anyways. And, and in his mind it would be, a summer
Sorry.
thing, and then this following year it would continue. And
Right.
apparently I looked more like a freshman my senior year of high school than I did any other time. So I can understand why he would, think I was a freshman, but only I went to a different middle school or something.
would you have dated him?
Probably not. He really wasn't my type. I was more into the intellectual guys than I was actual, lookers.
Jocks and athletes
So,
and all that.
Oh
Yeah.
man, hey guy, if you're watching, I'm sorry. That was a joke,
Yeah.
But seriously, if in the off chance you're watching, I hope you did find someone.
Yeah.
I hope he did too. I mean, he was an alright guy. It's just, he liked me over my younger sister. And, it's like she liked him, so it's like a little crush triangle going.
Oh,
but I
boy.
didn't like him at all. So it's like she liked him, he liked me, and I was already dating someone else. But the person I was dating wasn't in school. And I played it off as he was a college student, which he really wasn't, but it was
Right.
good enough for my high school friends. Like, oh, you got an older guy. You go, girl. That's how they reacted in high school. My senior year, it's like, oh, you're dating a college guy? Nice. Like the guns pointed at me too, so finger guns. And he's like, yeah. And they thought I was all worldly after that.
Well, that's just how high school works, I guess.
Hey Brent, you know what was really tough though?
What's that?
As like I did dance with both of those girls at prom, by the way. I didn't really have I didn't really have a date to go with, and I had asked too late because it was very hard. The question was very, very hard for me to ask. It's
Right.
not an easy question. Like, in looking back, it should have been, because it's like, hey, you want to go to prom with me? I mean,
But
just
of course,
it sounds so easy. Like looking
but it's
ahead.
not in the moment. It isn't.
Yeah. In the moment, it's not. But then years later, you look back and it's like, man, that should have been so easy.
Why was I stumbling over myself like an idiot?
Why didn't I ask when I had time and dates weren't really decided? I was told, man, you should have asked your date if you wanted to go to the prom, if they wanted to go to the prom with you at the beginning of the year. And I was like, what?
Whoa, that's too soon.
Yeah, that's really early.
That's too early in my.
Yeah.
I would let's say if the prom is at the end of May. Now I never was a prom person. I didn't go to mine. I didn't see the point. But if
I went to mine.
okay, I went to a friend's prom, but we just went as friends because she wanted to go and I was the first person she could think of to ask. If I was
Oh. Hold on.
if the prom is at
Oh,
the end of
okay.
May, I'd probably ask maybe in
no sooner than maybe the beginning of April.
Yeah,
That's the soonest I would ask. Is at the beginning of April.
well, that's pretty much when I asked, but everybody was already taken, and that's why I was told you should have.
Damn.
That's why I was told you should have asked at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, what? Really?
Sheesh.
The prom was
Well,
on May
my-
5th. The prom was on May 5th, and at the time I said, I think it should be May 4th, so we can say May the 4th be with you.
Oh jeez. My the prom that I went to was actually on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, so it was right near the end of the year.
Dang.
Yeah, mine was, my prom was June, I think it was June 5th.
Oh wow.
Dang, a month
my
after mine.
school, my school went from August 25th to like June 10th usually.
Okay.
So
So yours was right at the end of the year.
yeah, and when I asked, I had asked my boyfriend if he wanted to go, and I asked like, you know, like a month and a half, like early May is when I asked, and so that way he had plenty of time to get everything ready and everything. He said he would go. And it ended up being, he even bought my prom dress for me. He paid for the tickets. He gave me the money to pay for the tickets because he wasn't allowed on campus to buy them. So he gave me the money to buy the tickets, and he took me shopping to go buy the prom dress. And side note, when we went to the small town called Orange Cove, and at the time it was a really, really small city, and he was driving a Pontiac Firebird at the time, a real pretty teal one, and his car got broken into, and the only thing that was taken was my makeup and his CDs.
Wow.
They didn't take my prom dress.
Wow.
They didn't take the prom dress, because that would be something I would take if I were to break into a car, a really nice prom dress. And it was a floor-length black. But the person that, you know, broke into the car didn't take the prom dress. He just took his CDs and my makeup. That was it.
Dang.
Which is surprising because, I mean, CDs and makeup are replaceable. But, you know, it was just like one of those, just like, okay, really? You're really gonna just, you know, didn't want,
Random
I guess he
things to
didn't,
take.
yeah, and it's like he didn't want to take the dress. It's like, I would have taken the dress because that I could have, you know, given it to my girlfriend or, you know, but I mean,
Heck yeah.
he didn't take the dress. But for my prom, though, it was me and my best friend at the time. And we went to prom together with my boyfriend. So my boyfriend had 2 dates
Oh wow.
for the prom. And he took us to the Bear restaurant that was there in town. And when we got out of the car, everybody was like jealous because he had 2 girls that were prettied up on his arm versus just one. And everybody was like, wow, that is like unfair or whatever. And I'm like, and so, I mean, because otherwise my friend wouldn't have gone to, you know, her prom or anything.
Right.
She wouldn't have gone.
I didn't
And
go.
so we went together, and it was quite fun. He took turns dancing with the both of us, and other times he would dance with both of us at the same time.
Whoa.
So we had a blast.
I didn't go to my prom because I didn't want to, and I didn't see the point. My dad wanted me to go because he's like, oh, it's your senior prom, blah blah blah, you know. And so, my school gave us this events calendar thing, and it was basically cataloging all of the events of the school year up until the end. So I gave it to my dad after it was too late to get prom tickets, or once the eligibility period was over. And he was like, "Why didn't you?" And I'm like, I knew you were gonna try to insist on me going, so I waited till after it was too late to give it to you. He's like, "Oh well, yeah, I guess it's your call. Like, obviously you made it."
And you would have seen the point of going if there's only a point in going if you have dates to go with you. That's the
Right,
thing
right.
about it, is if you don't have a date to go, there's no point.
I had a mild,
Yeah.
I had a mild crush on someone who may or may not have had similar feelings, but it wasn't strong enough to get me to kind of go out on a limb and ask. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I was just like, why? Why bother? What's the point?
I'm just not interested in all that stuff.
Yeah. When I went with my friend, we danced, but we didn't do any of the slow dances. When it was a slow dance, we would go sit back down.
So, I mean, like, when I went to prom, the second I got in, the noise and the crowd hit me like a ton of bricks.
Oh, mine was over. There were so many people that even though the AC was on, I was stifling hot in a tuxedo.
Wait, I thought you didn't go.
No, when I
he
went to my
with his
friends.
not his.
Oh,
Remember I told you I went with a friend of mine in my sophomore year?
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, when I went to that one, it was freaking, holy crap, it was crazy.
The noise and the crowds and the people, it all hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was like, oh, I felt like it almost felt stifling. But I gotta tell you, it was a great night despite it. I mean, I ended up dancing with the two girls I liked, and then, I mean, it got a bit much being in the prom building, like, because it was so loud. So I was like, and Skylar was with me because his girlfriend was still a senior in high school, and he went to her prom. And
Well, I think for my prom, the upside was that it was in an outdoor area.
Oh,
Mine was in an outdoor area, and they
I've
had
never
like a
heard of an
nice
outdoor
floor, and they had food and drinks and everything, and it was all out. And they had because it was also a wedding venue, and they booked it for prom. So it was totally worth going because it was outdoors and everything.
Wow,
It
never
was-
heard of
it
an
was, like,
outdoor prom
really-
before.
Yeah, it was a really nice, change. It wasn't, crowded or anything.
yeah, I eventually had to tell my brother. I was like, yeah, man, we gotta get out of here. And so he and I went outside and sat down, and this girl came up to us, and I danced with her, and I did a couple of my voiceover stuff. I've got a nick for that a little bit,
Yeah.
and I think I'm pretty sure she was laughing. I can't remember. I mean, it's been a while, but
Yeah.
I liked this girl, and I said that I was gonna stay. I kind of asked if we could stay in touch, and I was going to. But I mean, and there was one time I went into the office and I asked them if they could say hi to her coming in, like if she came in, to the office, and I was going to, but I was still shy. I was still like, I had too much trouble with that. I just
Oh, yeah.
I always felt like I would creep someone out, or I would like make them
And that's-
uncomfortable, or like
And that's accurate, knowing you.
shut
Oh.
up, Brent.
But I'm sure she's like, I wonder why he didn't keep in touch with me. Like, you know.
Middle finger to Brent. What'd you say, Angie?
I said, I wonder if she was like, I wonder why he didn't keep in touch with me. Like,
And now
why
looking
she
back,
saw-
I would think. Now looking back, I kind of feel bad for not. It's
Yeah.
like
Like,
you're damned
could
if you
go
do
back
and you.
change. Yeah, if you could go back and change that and like take over your younger self for a while.
I would like to think I would do that. I'd like to think I would have the guts to do that.
Yeah, to keep in touch. Yeah.
I just didn't. It's like in your head, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Cause it's like you don't. On the one hand, you don't know if the girl is gonna be creeped out or like uncomfortable or what have you. But then you think, well, what if I upset her because I don't stay in touch?
Yep. I was honestly like in school. I was kind of nervous about asking my female friends for phone numbers. I felt weird about that, and I probably shouldn't have, because they would have just been like, just ask for my number and just give me a call whenever. But I felt weird about that because it's like, I don't want, are they gonna think that I'm trying to hit on them, or are they gonna,
It's just how the culture is. I kind of don't like that,
yeah.
That's just how you're taught.
Guys feel weird asking for the phone numbers of and calling the phone numbers of their female friends. Especially like high school and college age.
Sherry, what's your opinion on this? Having gone through and having guys that had crushes on you and stuff like that.
Well, on my thing, for me though, it's more like the guy will ask my number and then he'll never call.
Ow.
Ouch.
And it's like, okay, well, he asked, he should be the one to,
Make a phone call.
make the phone call. And there's, like, if I asked the number for his number, I would usually most definitely call to see how he's doing and what's going on and whatnot. And then if I would ask if it was okay to call again, and if he said no, then I would respect that and not.
But if you said yes, then you would.
Yeah.
And in that position, I could see like the guy's side of it, because it's like you in that sense you're a nervous wreck, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't know. It's like, oh my God, is she gonna think this is weird? And I
Is it
actually
okay for me to call?
and
I've been there before.
I will say, when I was in elementary school, I had this cute little kid crush on a girl. And I asked for her phone number. And I did call. And I think her dad answered and screamed, "Who are you?" on the other end of the phone. And I was scared. So I hung up. So I think that kind of scared me and cemented that fear of...
Yeah, it's weird. It's like guys, they get all weird when they think about, even if it's just a friend that who they want to ask the number of so they can keep in touch outside of school, or even if they actually get the number. Guys have this weird thing where they get weirded out, like, is this really okay? Can I really call this person? Or did she just give me her number to be nice? Is it really okay for me to...
Oh.
Weird.
I've had guys go, here's my number, and then It's like, okay, he gave me his number, but is it a real number? I mean, that's like the first question that they're, oh, you're cute, here's my number. It's like, oh, is that a real number? And they're like, oh, yeah. And it's like, okay, so if I call it and it isn't, then you're a liar, right? It's like, oh, yeah, you're right, huh? It's like, sorry, I don't date liars.
Oh, damn. So yeah, like the person that I had the mad crush on, we exchanged numbers. Like my dad was like, "You guys should exchange numbers." So I gave my number, and then she wrote her number down on a piece of paper, and it actually took my dad, like reminding me that I should, call this person, and then I told him. I've got the number on a piece of paper in my coat pocket. I've been meaning to remind you to read it to me so I can write it down. But any time I would like think about asking my dad to read it to me, I'd lose my nerve and I'd be like, I'll do it later. I'll do it after I listen to the song. Then I'll do it in an hour. I'll do it tomorrow. So
Yeah,
what it
because
eventually ended up happening. Go ahead.
it's difficult. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be.
It really shouldn't.
But in the heat of the moment, like when you're thinking, should I call it? Should I not call it? Is like, and then I guess there's also the thing of like, whenever you meet a girl that you have a crush on that you like, it's like she's so much better than me. Like she's
out of my freaking league.
Yeah. She's like
And,
so much better than me in every way. Why should I waste her time?
Yeah, why should I tell her how I feel? Because I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna just get flat out rejected, and then I'm gonna look like a.
You never know.
True. Yeah, but when you're in the throes of it, that's what goes through your head. At least from the guy's perspective.
Yeah, I would have to
Yeah.
agree with Brand. I mean, my first ex, he gave me, well, actually, it's more like, I met him through a mutual friend. Because he was my mutual friend was my coworker, and I gave him my number to give to my late ex-husband, and just to see where it would go, because he thought, I was really nice and whatnot. Apparently he had a crush on me for a couple of years prior to getting the nerve to ask for my number, and which was kind of interesting. And then when he called, he hung up right after he had called me, and when I called back, he said, oh, this is my friend's number, and he changed his voice to simulate his friend. I'm like, oh, okay, well, can you tell, so-and-so that I called and, wanted to, talk with him and, be friends and whatever. And he called back, like, not even a minute later and goes, oh, yeah, that was actually me. I was really nervous and I was surprised that you actually called. And I'm like, well, I think you're a nice guy, so, and you were very, straightforward with me whenever whenever he bought things from the store I was working at. And he was like, surprised I would actually call. And then we hit it off from there. Of course, he, carded me, tried to make sure that I was of legal age. And
Yeah.
that was a new experience. Never had a guy card me before, and make sure I was legal. Ladies, take it as a compliment if a guy that's interested says that they want you to, they want a card you, make sure you're legal. It's a compliment.
It actually took when my dad, in my case, because I'm like, I have the number, and he's like, all right, well, when I get home, remind me to read you the number. And what ended up actually happening was because our dads worked together, me and this girl I had a mad crush on. And what ended up happening was my dad calls me back and just reads me and just gives out the number right there, and I'm like, all right, I'll write it down. And so a day or two later, I actually worked up the nerve to call. I still didn't say how I felt, but yeah, and still friends to this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said,
Mine
I
wasn't
will-
that big of a happy ending, though.
Okay, yeah, I like I said, I will most likely. I will more than likely go to my grave, never having told the person that I had the crush on how I really felt, because, I mean, what would be the point?
Me, I'd like to find I'd like to think that the girls that I mentioned eventually, like after a while, will probably may already know or might find out from some other means or something like that.
Right.
But I don't honestly know if I'm ever gonna find out how they felt.
Yeah.
And I would be kind of afraid to find out.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can understand that completely. Yeah, it's weird when you have these feelings, because you've got all this stuff racing through your mind. You probably got a bunch of chemicals coursing through your system. It makes your brain all funny. It you know,
Yeah.
when you're through it and it's done, your logical brain takes over, and you know your normal thought patterns go, okay, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I handle it like this? But then, of course, when you're in the throes of it, logic kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, and your
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
starts
yeah.
to like take over, like just like that. Like your emotionally conflicted mind starts to kick in, and it's like
Yeah. It's like the logical, rational, reasonable part of you just decides, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna get the hell out of here for now. Bye.
it's like, all right, emotions, I think I'm gonna leave you to it. Have a nice life.
Go ahead, take the driver's seat. I'm gonna take a nap. Yeah.
So Brent sounds like when he's asleep.
The noise I just made is you when you're
Yes.
asleep, Brent.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Listen to the crazy party stream, Brent, and you'll hear how much of a fucking
Oh my
bear
god,
you
I
sound like.
forgot he fell asleep during that.
Yes.
That's why you
You'll
don't
get-
remember it.
You'll get to hear how much of a fucking bear you sound like.
No.
It's like-
Yeah. Dude, for real, that's legit what he sounds like.
And I could hear it too because you used to use your internal at the time.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
would
right.
hear it even better with that mic, though. If he had it on his head, like the headset, you'd hear it.
Well, I don't, because I can't.
I know you
I
don't.
can't sleep when you're Yeah, I can't sleep because, you know, what I usually do if I go to sleep is I'll just put the headset on my bed and then just be laying down, because I can't, you know, you can't lay on your side with a headset on.
I'm making all you guys yawn.
So far,
I didn't yawn.
I'm a weird ass motherfucker, but I
We
think
all are weird, though.
Join the club.
I think we're all
Yeah.
weird in this group of
People.
weird ass. How many viewers are we looking
But it
at here?
works.
Yep, 8 works. So I believe what we're going to do is we have about 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna end this at 2000 hours today. So
Okay.
it is 1944 right now.
Okay.
Not the year 1944, but the.
Well, I heard that the year was very good.
Huh?
Well,
The year
1944
1944. I
that
heard it
was
was.
the year of D-Day.
Oh, but I didn't say, BC or AD. So,
No.
which one am I talking about?
I would assume AD.
I could be talking about BC.
I have Bubble Man stuck
Although
in my head.
1944 BC was much simpler times than 1944 AD.
Yeah,
Fire.
true. To answer whoever asked that, D-Day was when the Allies in World War II landed on the beaches of Normandy and started pushing through France to try to push the Nazis out. And it was June 6th, 1944.
Okay.
Yeah, that was that a good day? Did they succeed?
Actually, they did.
They succeeded, yeah.
Oh, sweet!
They did. They pushed.
Kick those Nazis out! I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that was.
Well, I'm not
pushed-
kidding because the Nazis did need to go, but
Yeah.
oh, and
They
hey,
pushed the Nazis out, and a little less than a year later, about 11 months later, Germany surrendered, and the Allies won the European theater of World War II.
and in case any Germans got offended by me saying push the Nazis out, one, I've got to say why, because the Nazis
They
were bad.
assholes.
And two, I'm German Irish. So, there you go. Burn, motherfuckers! I'm German. I can say whatever I want.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So are we going to go on to the next topic, or?
Oh, we can.
You had, let's see, did you have another story? Because there were a couple I was gonna tell, but then you have one more left.
I've got another story.
Okay.
Alright.
There was once a leprechaun. He was such a nice leprechaun. He liked gold. And he wanted all the gold. He said, I want all the gold today.
Oh god.
I'm a fucking Irish, so I can say that, you fucking degenerate motherfucker. My accent may be total shit, but I'm still Irish, so fuck you.
Maybe it's not the accent that's total shit. Maybe it's the person using it.
Oh.
I'm going to
Now that
fucking
was
kill you.
nice.
I'm going to kill you, Brent. I'm going to kill you.
Ah.
You have to catch me first, you blind asshole! Asshole!
Sorry for anyone who has headphones or earbuds on right now.
Go to
I'm
the
s-
doctor and check your ears.
I'm sorry if you're allergic to loud noise. Anybody who goes
No,
to
I'm
rock
allergic
concerts.
to people whispering in my ear.
What did you say?
I didn't catch that. What was that?
You're mean.
Oh shit. I think I'm cutting out. I think my internet is being a total fucking
you.
ass. It's Brent's fault. It's all Brent's fault. It's always Brent's fault. This
hell,
is all Brent's fault.
Bullshit.
It's everything under the sun is Brent's fault. You can all blame him. Everybody listening to the YouTube and Twitch streams, you can all go ahead and blame Brent for all your problems and all your troubles, and they'll instantly be resolved.
Yeah, right. Bullshit.
So everybody repeat after me. Brent sucks dick. Brent sucks dick.
Or no, repeat after me. Garrett is a dick. Garrett is a dick.
Everybody say, repeat after me. Brent wants an enema. Brent wants an enema. Brent wants an enema straight up his ass. He wants it to be acid. Wants it to be acid.
I don't recommend this to anybody else. Please don't do this.
If anyone can answer this question, I will much appreciate it, because I have yet to find an answer. Why am I friends with this jerk off?
Because he's funny.
Because you care. And that's the spirit of it. I think that's the one thing we got to take away from the stream is we've all got to be caring and nice and sweet to one another. Everybody just wrap your everybody just wrap your arms around the other person, give them a nice big hug, and then squeeze them to death. And then feed their innards to the buzzards.
Why do I like it?
We're all fucked up in the head.
I'm perfection. Hallelujah.
Why am I here?
So, Sherry, would you like to tell your other story, or would you like me to tell the two that I had?
Oh, the other story that I had was I was about a junior in high school. And I was wearing blue, and according to school rules, you weren't supposed to wear blue, but I did it anyways.
What? Why
Or
not?
blue and, well, I mean, because they were considered gang colors, blue and red. And and the high school I was going to, they had both gangs at the school, and I was wearing blue, so they made it where the school was neutral territory, so that way they can't do anything at the school because it wasn't allowed, you know. So so one of them would come up to me and would stare me down, and I would stare him right in the eyeball, and he's like, "So what you gonna do?" And I just look at him straight in the eye, and basically dared him to do whatever it was he was going to do. And then he looked away first.
Damn.
And then afterwards he gave me what they call was props. And basically all props is that they give you mad respect because you didn't back down, you didn't look down, you basically, showed them who was boss.
You stood up to him.
Pretty much, yeah. And it was like, go ahead, do it. And then the other gang did it to me like the next day or something, because they heard rumors and stuff, going, okay, well, let's see what she's got. And so I stared that one down, and then afterwards they were just like, yeah, she's one tough MF, and I asked my brother about it, and he goes, yeah. He said that in my high school years, I was going through the phase of don't mess with me, do whatever you want, but don't fuck with me type thing. And he said that according to my brother, he said that that's why the gangs all liked me, because I was like, okay, give it to me, what you got?
Yeah.
And they respected me for not backing down or anything, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, it sounds interesting.
And later on, when I was hanging out with my sister, the one just younger than me, she said that there was an area that was gang affiliated, and we had gone to the park that was in her area, and we went to the park, and as we were leaving, I was playing Ozzy in the car, and there was a stop sign, and across from it there was a couple of gang members, and they looked over, and I looked at them straight in the eye and go, "Sup?"
Damn.
Trying to see if they will, see if they give me respect, because I gave them respect first, because I'm on their turf, and because I didn't want to have a turf war or anything like that.
Right, exactly.
And they gave me respect, and they were just they didn't do anything. And my sister had gone back to the park after I left, and she didn't say anything about, the gang members getting in her way or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, what I did worked.
Nice.
And I told my mom, after, I told her before leaving Modesto that I would feel much safer living in a gang community, because at least then I know they hate me.
Yeah.
And I can live with it.
Right. But all this, behind closed doors, behind your back shit, that's what's, unbearable.
That's it's like I don't know who to trust, because I don't know who hates me. And I'm the type of person that if I don't like someone, I will tell them I don't like them. And then I will ignore them and, pretend they don't exist. And if I have to be nice, if I have to be nice, I will be nice. I'll be civil,
the same way.
at least.
If I don't like somebody, I make it very clear that I don't like them.
I want to give a very simple message for people who have a rule in their school that that has ridiculous dress codes like not wearing blue or red. Pull this finger out, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Just because someone wears blue or red doesn't mean they're part of a gang.
Seriously, that's ridiculous.
Blue's my favorite
Very.
color.
I like green.
Well,
That's cool.
I actually like green because of green was one of the main colors. Apparently, now I was told this after the fact, and I read some of the books, and there was a lot of things that were green. But the Goosebumps series of books, which is kind of like scary stories, but dumbed down for kids ages, I would say 8 to 10 or 11, maybe.
yeah.
And, green was kind of a commonly used color, and since I liked the show, I kind of, I guess, gravitated towards that color. Kind of interesting because my uncle, my dad's brother, his favorite color is also green, but, just kind of ironic that me and him have the same, color in common.
Apologizing for interrupting, but we have one more minute, so I feel like we should give our respective outros. And I shall start by saying,
I guess yeah, I can always tell the 2 stories I was going to tell next time around.
Yeah, next time around. But I will conclude by saying you guys are wonderful peoples and love each other and be nice to one another. And unless your name is Brent, in which case you must die! I'm just kidding.
Exterminate, Brent.
Damn.
But it's been fun, guys. I hope to
It's
see
been
you
an
guys
honor.
back here. And thank you
Yeah.
for being
Honor to
a
be on the
guest
show.
on the show, Sherry.
Yeah, this was awesome. It was great having you here.
Thank you, thank you. I'm bowing for those that can't see. I'm bowing. Thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
It was fun. Hopefully this one won't be a total disaster like the other one was. Hopefully
I don't think it
everything-
was.
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Me neither.
like yesterday's one, you know, we didn't know everything went wrong,
Yeah.
so hopefully this one won't have the same problems. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah, I get ya.
Yeah. Last one, it went well,
20.
but on the technical end, it didn't.
And the medical end, it didn't either.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, true, yeah.
But I will catch you guys later. Thank you
Alright.
for joining us.
Alright.
Anybody who has joined us today, or anybody who will be joining us watching this recording later in the future.
Take care, peeps.
Take care, peoples, and remember to feed your cats
And doggies.
and dogs.
And don't drink and drive. You might spill your beer.
And wreck your car.
And you will face extreme bad luck if you cross in front of a moving garbage truck.
Bye, people.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.